Elon Musk just announced that full self-driving is in the hands of a select few Tesla owners. If you haven't been on social media recently, there are videos surfacing everywhere of a totally revamped autopilot system and a full self-driving system, and people are freaking out over their car being able to completely drive hands-free. This is a feature that's going to roll out to everybody else in the next couple months, hopefully on Elon time. You should be aware of the fact that this is a historic week. Since it's a historic week, Elon is capitalizing on that and saying that full self-driving is going up by $2,000 on Monday. So anybody who wants to lock in the current pricing needs to place their order in the next few days. So before you do that, hold on. Please don't make any of the following 5 mistakes that I'm about to explain to you. My name is Brandon Driver. I'm a former Tesla salesperson. I've sold just over 1,000 cars, and now I use all my knowledge to help people with consults for buying Teslas and for learning their cars. I help people find new or used Teslas, and I stick with them through the entire process from ordering to delivery and after, kind of like your personal assistant. I'm there to make sure you have an amazing experience and you have someone you can ask all your questions to. I've put together this video on full self-driving for you, hopefully to earn your like and subscribe. So check in with me at the end to see if I did. And if I didn't, leave a comment below and let me know what I could do to earn your like and subscribe for next time. Number 1, full self-driving does not mean all of a sudden you have an expensive babysitter. I cannot stress this enough. Check out this video of David Dobrik, a very famous YouTuber, allowing a friend of his to drive his Tesla irresponsibly, okay? Teslas are able to break the rules. You're allowed to go over the speed limit. You are able to sleep behind the wheel while autopilot is running, even though you are definitely not supposed to. You're able to drive off-road in a Tesla, even though you arguably shouldn't. You can break the rules in a Tesla. When you own the car, it's your car. You're allowed to do with it what you want. Just like when you own full self-driving. You're allowed to do with full self-driving what you want, but please don't be reckless. Please always be aware of what your car is doing, even though it's a really advanced system. There are, unfortunately, some really viral videos of Tesla owners sleeping behind the wheel in autopilot, some of them even being caught and fined a lot of money. Full self-driving now comes with a whole lot more freedoms and a whole lot more technology to play with, and that means there's a lot more abuse that can be experienced with it too. So don't think that just because you buy full self-driving in your car, that all of a sudden you have a robotic babysitter that's going to dictate all your rules and make sure that you are perfectly safe all the time in your car. Even though it will dramatically enhance your experience, you are in charge of what happens in your car. Please don't forget that. Also, every time full self-driving gets abused and another person winds up in the news, government regulators who are making this whole process very slow for the rest of us to be able to enjoy full self-driving in our Teslas, they're going to slow it down further because they're going to cite every single time someone gets in trouble, and then they're going to say it's not ready yet. So think about the future. Think about your neighbors who own Teslas every time you're thinking about doing something a little bit risky or outside the rules with your software. Number 2, full self-driving is a beta feature. Now, a beta software is essentially something that's still in the works. It's not perfect, it's not finished. That means that if you're using a beta software, it's still going to get updates. It's still going to have changes to the features. It's going to be maybe rearranged with its user interface. Expect that there will be a lot of updates coming to that software. Like, for example, things can change all the time. Right now we're on a road where we have very clearly marked lanes. You can see that there's really nothing wrong. This is a really well-paved road, clear markings. But there can be surprises that will make it not work like it's supposed to. Like if maybe there was an accident somewhere recently and there are faded lanes or the paint has been messed up on a lane, then that can confuse a robot just as much as it'll confuse a human. So yeah, don't make the mistake of thinking that full self-driving is perfect just because it's really famous. Please always be aware of the fact that technology can come across situations where it doesn't know how to respond, and you should always have your hands on the wheel, just like I'm doing right now. You should always be alert and ready to take over at any moment. Number 3, full self-driving raises the MSRP of your car. This is specifically for people buying new cars from Tesla. If you buy your car today or before Monday when the price goes up, then you need to be aware of the fact that you are increasing the price of your car on its paperwork. So when the DMV receives the paperwork here in the US, the local government will be the DMV that Tesla will send the paperwork to. They're going to look at what the price of your car was when you purchased it. And this depends state to state, but in Nevada where I live, if you have a certain MSRP for what your car costs and that gets registered with the DMV, your registration every year that you have to renew to be allowed to drive around your car is based on that price. So if you're the kind of person who is looking to make a purchase and there isn't a huge incentive like a price increase happening here very soon, then you might want to consider not buying full self-driving before you get your car. Software upgrades are a little bit of a gray area with the government because it's software, meaning you can buy it, it can be installed, it can be uninstalled. It's kind of like a modification to the car because some cars have it, some cars don't, and it's optional. It's kind of a confusing thing, but ultimately it really boils down to the same thing if you put it in the car before delivery versus after delivery. One of the benefits of putting it in before delivery, of buying full self-driving with your order, is you can finance it. Or if you're leasing it, then you can put it into your monthly payments. And that's really beneficial because it's an expensive package. Not a lot of people want to shell out $8,000, or in this case, $10,000 for full self-driving. If you get to skip on $8,000 or $10,000 less on your MSRP and save a little bit year after year on your registration, and then pay for full self-driving as one lump purchase later, consider that. Please do the math on this before you make up your mind buying full self-driving, or please pay someone for a consultation who can help walk you through it, like myself. If you are interested in talking to me, please check the description below for my email. I'd be more than happy to at least get on a free consult with you and get you in the right direction. Number 4, full self-driving changes a lot. If you buy full self-driving, you're going to be in for a lot of updates and a lot of changes and a lot of things being rearranged. So brace yourself mentally for that. You need to be on top of it every time there's something that's different about full self-driving. Now, it's not the same as getting smartphone updates or changes to whatever programs you're used to using on your computer at home. This is usually features being added to the suite of software packages, but it can be user interface changes. Maybe they're going to change the way it looks or the colors or the arrangement. Maybe they're going to add features to it. Maybe they're going to add more buttons to the menu screens when you're customizing how you want the full self-driving capability to work in your car. Read your patch notes. Every time you get an update in your car, read your patch notes. Every time you get an update, you'll see the patch notes on your screen. And as soon as it's finished, it'll pop up there in a big box. Read through those. And if you forget where they are, the way to find them is go to the Tesla T at the top center of your screen, and you'll see patch notes right there for whatever happened in the latest update. Read through those and get ready to have some patience reading through them too, because especially around newer features being released, sometimes updates can be pretty frequent back to back trying to get those features really right. Let me pause real fast and check in. Have I earned your like and subscribe yet? Drop a comment below. Have you already thought about any of these mistakes, or do you know someone who has bought full self-driving already and made one of these mistakes? Number 5, ask for help trying out full self-driving, or at the very least, learning what it does. Full self-driving is a huge software package. There's a lot to learn. If you're at a Tesla showroom and you're about to make your purchase, ask the salesperson to spend extra time going over full self-driving. Ask them to explain what it does. Ask them to go for maybe an extra drive to specifically focus on those features. Be mindful and ask for a thorough explanation. This will help you and your salesperson understand how important that is to you. It is an expensive purchase. Or find a qualified consultant like myself to help walk you through it, and maybe video chat with you and explain each feature and walk you through it. A qualified expert will be able to have experienced full self-driving on their own and then hear your story, hear about you and your life, your needs, your family's needs, your driving habits, your lifestyle, everything that can connect full self-driving's benefits to your life and how it applies. If maybe, let's say, you like going to the gym at 6 a.m. and you get in there, it's in the winter and it's really cold when you finish working out and you're covered in sweat, And you realize that you go to a really busy gym and you usually have to park on the other side of the parking lot. Full self-driving has a summon feature where you can have your phone summon your car to wherever you're standing, and then you get to avoid running out in the cold for the 20 or 30 seconds where you feel like you're gonna die because you're in freezing air while you're covered in sweat. That is a really nice benefit of full self-driving. And maybe that's not that important to you. Maybe you are the kind of person that has a car full of kids, you're the designated driver in your neighborhood for soccer practice. And in your Model X, you're the one that's gonna put all the soccer stuff in the back. And everybody's back there, it's really chaotic, it's really stressful and distracting while you're on the freeway. And having full self-driving and navigate on autopilot taking over for you and making a lot of your decisions, making sure you're safe so you can yell at the kids in the back to calm down, that is so much more of a peace of mind while driving than without full self-driving. And that might be the selling point to you to make that decision. So please talk to someone who has already experienced it that can help you understand how it benefits your life. Checking in one more time, have I earned your like and subscribe? Drop a comment below on if you think that the $2,000 price point is fair. And if it's not, how come? And if you think it should be more or less, what do you think full self-driving should cost these days? Check out my video up here. I have some pretty well together thoughts about the different colors that Tesla sells, and you should absolutely check this out if you're on the fence about what color you're going for. Also, I have a free downloadable delivery checklist before you pick up your car that will very much help you on your delivery day. So send me a message below, I'd be happy to send you the link. Stay safe out there with the first autonomous cars on the road.